If I say Immaculate Constellation, I'll be on some list.
Now that we have all been cautioned in this committee hearing that the mention of Pentagon's Immaculate Constellation program could put us on a list, well, may as well just go all out and say it. The Earth is flat, birds are government drones, and we've never set on foot on the moon. And
maybe a FISA warrant, so come at me, bro, I guess.
I think that what the American people need to know is that the U.S. military and intelligence community are sitting on a huge amount of visual and other information, still photos, video photos, other sensor information, and they have for a very long time. And it's not those fuzzy photos and videos that we've been given. There's very clear
high
resolution.
How many visuals, graphics, videos, photos?
I mean, I've been told hundreds, maybe thousands.
Well, when I'm not down in Congress making friends with people, kicking it on the streets, dipping back and forth, meet and greeting, hanging out with my boy Scott from that Mysterious Planet. Give him a shout, Scott.
What's going on, guys? Scott from Mysterious Planet.
We're making Enigma cast videos. So everybody, as you all know, we had a very, very busy week. We were in Washington, D.C. on Wednesday. My buddy Scott hit me up about a week before saying, hey, man, let's hit it. And I'm like, all right. Scott did the smart thing and took the train. I didn't have the option. So I got stuck in traffic. Scott got in there. Yeah, man. But I tell you what, it was a great time. And what we're going to do is, everybody, thanks for tuning into Enigma Cast, man. We're going to give you a wrap up. Scott and I are going to go down. We're going to talk about each speaker. We're going to talk about how our experiences about it, talk about what we look forward to in the future. And we're going to talk about the general vibe. And I'm telling you, man, Scott, you would agree. It was a lot of fun, right?
Yeah, man. It was an amazing experience to have. And one thing I will say is that going there and doing this, it made me realize the difference between passive activism and active activism.
Oh yeah, that's well said, bro. That's a good point, man.
It's one thing to go from, I used to sign like petitions and stuff for like whistleblower protections and things like that. It's one thing to go around and like sign petitions and participate via the internet. It's another thing to go in person and be there and make your voice heard just by even being there. You're making your voice heard. They see the crowds of people that are showing up to these things. So I think being a part of it really changed my perspective on everything related to this. So there is definitely a difference between passive and active activism.
Yeah, I would totally agree with that. That's well said, Scott, man, because that place was packed. And it was packed, man. And so so you go to either one of our Instagram channels. You can see Scott and I both took videos while we were in the hallway. The hallway was literally all the way to the elevator. There was a line, and it made like a left turn, and then to go into it. And it was standing room only in there. And if I had to take like a rough guess, there was at least 200 people in that hallway. Wouldn't you think, Scott? And we're all up against the wall. Yeah, easily. Yeah, easily, right? So anyways, everybody, we're going to dig into that. And we're going to break it down for you. So it actually worked out. So November 13th, Scott and I were in there. All of Scott's contact information will be in the description. We'll plug it at the end, Scott. This is Scott's third appearance on my show.
Yep.
Yes, sir. I'm excited. Scott was my very first guest, and this is our 50th episode, and Scott is on here now. So this is amazing, right?
Yeah, man.
Yeah, we were down there November 13th. This is all Scott's idea. It was amazing. I'm glad he brought it up. We were down there. I got caught up in the presidential motorcade, and it literally slowed me down for like 40 minutes, right? And like I felt that 40 minutes like that, but it actually worked out. I think it actually worked out good though. Scott got in line pretty good. I came in there later, got in there. I got in the back of the line. So yeah, true story here. They were letting them in. Would you say like 20 at a time, Scott? Like they would let 20 in, and then they would let everybody get settled. They let 20 more people in. They were like kind of like making sure that wasn't just gushing everybody in there, right?
Yeah, they were letting people in slowly.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
My man right here was the last dude in when they shut the door.
Dude,
Tell them that story.
it was crazy. It was so crazy. I mean, I had gotten there. I checked. I was actually outside the building waiting at 5:50ish, actually, or 6 a.m. I was waiting to get in. Then, like, we're waiting outside. The building opens at 7. We go in. We have to wait in line. And from like 7 to 11:30, so we're in line for hours.
Yeah.
Dude. Yeah. I was in line with Darcy Ware. He's a filmmaker of like UFO documentaries. There's a guy, Jason, part of the UAP Studies podcast. I was with the whole time in these lines. And then when we get to the end and we're about to let people in, they're like, all right, we got 3 spots left. And there was another guy they pointed to, and they pointed to Darcy, and they pointed to me. And like, you guys got the last 3 spots. I was like, holy shit.
Yeah,
like,
no doubt,
I'm
man.
actually getting... I didn't think I was going to get in the room. I already resigned to the fact that I was going to go to the overflow room and I wasn't getting in the room. Like, I already had accepted that in my head mentally. So getting in the room just kind of blew my mind. I was not expecting that. So that was an awesome surprise.
Yo, it was huge too. So I could see you from where I was at, man. I saw you like cut that left. I'm like, all right, cool. And then kind of stopped, right? But I didn't know what was going on, right? Like, cause I was like still decently back. In fact, do you remember where you were standing when I caught up to you when I first?
Yep.
That's where I ended when you went around the corner. That's the distance, right? Like I was right there, right? And they were like, and when they closed the door, a lady came around the corner and she said, "It's over. But we're setting up. There's no more room in there. It's closed. We have we have a ready. It's called a ready room. We have a ready room upstairs with a TV. If you want to get out and go watch it up there, we will." Like a large amount of people, man, got out, right? And they just went, right? Because if you were like nowhere near that turn, you had no shot of getting in there, right? No shot of getting there, right? And so they left, right? And so when they did, I was like, this guy was like, "Are you going to go?" And I'm like, "No, I think I'm going to hang out right here." And I said, because I can hear them, right?
Subscribe now and turn on the notifications to join us on this extraordinary journey into the unknown.